My name is Tim Jensen. I'm an industrial and systems engineering major from the University of San Diego. I'm going to be graduating in the spring of 2024, and I am an intern here for the summer at the Keck Center.
What was your impression before you came here of the Keck Center? Like, what did you think about it before coming?
I didn't really know what to expect. I was a little intimidated just because my background as an industrial engineer is probably a little bit different than the focus here, which is mostly mechanical engineering. So getting here for the first week was definitely nerve-wracking, but then a lot of my worries went away when I just met Jorge, my advisor, and then a couple of my coworkers. Kind of put to ease the worries I had, and that worry kind of turned into excitement within the first week.
What was your first impression of El Paso, or did you have any previous expectations?
I'd just driven through. Honestly thought it was going to be a little bigger, but I think that the fact that it's a big city, but it kind of has a small town vibe where everybody's pretty friendly, and like right off the bat, it doesn't take long for people to open up and be warm and nice to you here.
What was your first impression of the projects that you were going to take on?
I thought they were cool projects. I didn't really have much background knowledge on my projects before I was introduced to them, and I think that was one of the cool things about the Keck Center is it's kind of an environment where you're allowed to not come in fully polished, and there's room to grow. So I really appreciated that with my projects. I was given a little bit of time to catch up with the learning curve, and I felt like given the opportunity to grow, I was able to grow into be useful here, and I had a good time fulfilling my projects.
Had you ever done an internship before?
I had not. This was the first technical internship I've had.
Tell me a little bit about your work. What were you doing during your time here?
A lot of my stuff was focused on working with the MIDI, and then the other kind of half of the summer I was working with pyrometer testing in a glove box. So with the MIDI, I was making a laser-proof hood to allow for better observation. The existing hood didn't have any room for attachments, so I made a hood that was it made it possible for people to put cameras and other instruments in while still keeping the laser-safe integrity of the MIDI. Obviously, it's a high-powered laser, so don't want to compromise the safety there when you're working on it. And then as far as working with the glove box, we did a lot of pyrometer testing with different types of powder. So we were heating them up, looking for differences in the emissivity levels of the powder types.
So if one of your peers back in California started to mention that they would maybe be interested in learning about 3D printing, how could you describe the Keck Center to them?
I would tell them if you want to learn a lot more about kind of the technical side of additive manufacturing, and I think that the Keck Center does a lot of good work on the research side, then this would be a great spot. There's not really many limitations, I feel like, especially if you have a good idea of what you want to do. My advice for somebody before coming to the Keck Center would be to kind of explore additive manufacturing on your own and explore, just kind of find out what types of limitations, specifications interest you in exploring here. Because I know if you come here with an idea of something that you want to explore, I'm sure that there would be people willing to hear your questions, answer your questions, explore your questions.
How would you describe El Paso, like, as a place to come and be, and like be at a school? Is it weird? Is it different?
I think it was a nice experience. The living on campus was nice. just because that made it a nice, easy commute to work every day. I would say the food here is very delicious. There's a good variety of food, but the Mexican food is exquisite. And you know, it's a big enough town that if you want, there's a lot of fun stuff to do here. Depending on what you're interested in, there's things like Top Golf and iFly that are really fun around here. I've gotten to explore. And then, I mean, I'll say it again, I think the people kind of are what make El Paso kind of puts it all together, makes it tick, because I came here and I didn't know anybody, and so having my coworkers be friendly enough to show me around El Paso really also made it good experience for me. Good summer.
And going back to the educational aspect, to the engineering component, what particular amounts of leveling up do you feel like you have achieved through your experience here at Keck?
For me, I think it kind of broadened my perspective. My last year in my academic field was on a lot of manufacturing processes and Lean Six Sigma processes. So the work that I did wasn't necessarily what I had studied, but I think it fits into a bigger picture of kind of the field of engineering as a whole. There's a lot to be gained from implementing additive manufacturing into a lot of different industries. And so that kind of, it gave me a little bit more knowledge in the technical capabilities, kind of the limits, the current limits of additive manufacturing, and then also the limitations on how to research it and the benefit that there is to be had from exploring more, kind of making improvements on existing machines.
Ultimately, this video will be for young people like yourself right before your internship. What would you tell somebody that is in that position?
Get a base understanding. I think I probably didn't do a good enough job doing that. So the first couple weeks the first week I was playing catch up a little bit. So if I was talking to somebody and interested in coming here, I would say get a baseline understanding of the machines, the technologies, understand things like what laser powder bed fusion is, and just basic terminology like that. I think it'll make it a smooth transition for you coming in here. And people, when you get here, people are understanding, and it's a very learning-friendly environment. But when you have an internship, it's only for the summer, so if you want to get the most out of your time here, just take some time to do the research yourself before. I had a great time here, and I want to thank everybody at the Keck Center for the opportunities that I've had. Jorge has been really nice to me, and I'm grateful that he's given me opportunities to do projects. It's been a blast to work with Manny on his pyrometer projects. Wish him success in the future. Hope it's more successful than we've had so far. And yeah, everybody at the Keck Center has been very great to work with. So thank you guys for a good summer.